Welcome to TVAI News, where you get the fastest and most accurate updates on global affairs. Today, we bring you a shocking development that has rocked the political landscape of the United States. President Donald Trump has fired 2 Democratic officials from their positions at the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, a move that has sparked outrage, controversy, and serious questions about the independence of the nation's top regulatory agency. The officials, Rebecca Slaughter and Alvaro Bedoya, were key figures in enforcing antitrust laws and protecting consumer rights. Their removal has led many to believe that the Trump administration is actively reshaping the FTC to favor big corporations and dismantle regulations that stand in their way. Critics are calling it a blatant political purge, while Trump and his allies argue that these dismissals were necessary to restore fairness and eliminate partisan bias within the commission. So, what does this mean for the future of the FTC? Is this a bold move to reform a broken system? Or is it a dangerous step toward politicizing independent agencies? Let's break it down. Since its founding, the FTC has been one of the most critical watchdogs in American government, ensuring fair competition, regulating corporate mergers, and protecting consumers from deceptive practices. Historically, it has operated as a bipartisan body, with commissioners appointed from both political parties. However, Trump's decision to remove 2 sitting Democratic officials has shattered that tradition, fueling accusations that the commission is being transformed into a political weapon. Rebecca Slaughter, a longtime advocate for stricter antitrust enforcement, had been vocal about cracking down on tech giants and monopolistic practices. Alvaro Bedoya, known for his work on digital privacy and corporate accountability, had also been a strong voice against corporate overreach. With both of them gone, many fear that the FTC will now lean toward deregulation and corporate favoritism, aligning with Trump's pro-business stance. The response from Washington has been explosive. Democrats are furious, calling the firings an unprecedented attack on democracy. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer condemned the decision, stating, "This is nothing less than a power grab. The FTC must remain independent, not serve as an extension of the White House." Republicans, on the other hand, applauded the move, arguing that the FTC has been weaponized against businesses for years. House Speaker Mike Johnson defended Trump's decision, claiming, "These officials have overstepped their authority for too long. This is about putting America's economy back on track." But how are ordinary Americans reacting to this bombshell news? Public opinion is deeply divided. Some believe that Trump is simply fulfilling his promise to fight what he calls the deep state and remove biased officials who work against his agenda. Others, however, see this as a disturbing sign of growing authoritarianism, with the president consolidating power by removing opposition voices from key government institutions. Political analysts warn that this move could have long-term consequences for government agencies beyond just the FTC. If a president can remove officials from independent commissions whenever they disagree with his policies, what does that mean for the future of regulatory oversight in America? As the controversy unfolds, all eyes are now on the White House. Will Trump push forward with more removals in other regulatory bodies? Will Democrats attempt to fight back through legal challenges? And most importantly, what will this mean for American consumers and businesses in the years to come? Corporate reactions. Who stands to benefit? With 2 major Democratic voices gone, the balance of power within the FTC is shifted, and that could have major consequences for corporate America. Big tech companies like Amazon, Google, and Facebook, which have been under intense scrutiny for monopoly practices, might benefit significantly from a weakened FTC. Without strong regulators pushing for antitrust actions, these tech giants could find it easier to expand their influence and crush smaller competitors. Wall Street investors have reacted positively, with stocks in major tech and financial firms seeing an uptick in response to the news. Analysts suggest that companies previously under regulatory pressure could now enjoy a more business-friendly environment, making it easier for them to merge, acquire competitors, and avoid government intervention. But not everyone is celebrating. Consumer advocacy groups fear that this shift could lead to higher prices, reduced competition, and weaker consumer protections. Public Citizen, a nonprofit consumer rights organization, issued a strong statement condemning Trump's actions. The FTC's role is to protect the American people from corporate abuse. By firing these commissioners, Trump is signaling that he cares more about corporate profits than consumer welfare. Public opinion. What do Americans think? This issue has sparked a firestorm on social media, with Americans taking to Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok to express their opinions. Hashtag Save the FTC and hashtag Trump Power Grab are trending among critics who see this as an assault on democracy, while hashtag Drain the Swamp and hashtag Trump Did Nothing Wrong are being used by supporters who believe this is a necessary cleanup of government corruption. Sarah Whitmore, a small business owner from Michigan, expressed her concern. The FTC is supposed to protect people like me from being crushed by big corporations. If Trump removes the people who are fighting for fairness, what stops big companies from taking over everything? Meanwhile, Mike Henderson, a conservative voter from Texas, had a very different take. These Democrats have been abusing their power for years. Trump is finally holding them accountable. It's about time someone stood up for businesses instead of bureaucrats. This deep political divide reflects broader tensions in America, where every decision made by the government is now viewed through the lens of partisan warfare. The bigger picture. What happens next? While the immediate battle is over the FTC, the bigger war is about executive power and the future of American democracy. If Trump's actions go unchallenged, it could set a precedent for future presidents, Democrat or Republican, to remove independent regulators at will, effectively eroding the independence of government agencies. On the other hand, if Democrats succeed in overturning these firings, it could limit presidential power and establish stronger protections for independent institutions. Either way, the outcome of this crisis will reshape the balance of power in Washington for years to come. One thing is certain, this battle is far from over. Stay tuned for more updates, only on TVAI News. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know, is this a much-needed reform or a dangerous abuse of power?